Thanks for your purchase of your portable carport. We're going to go over an installation manual here on how to put the parts and pieces together. So first off, you're going to be receiving a pallet. You're either going to have it shipped to your yard or you've come to our yard yourself with a truck and trailer and picked it up. Basically, the pallet's going to look very similar to this. You're going to have all your parts and pieces above and all your metal cladding will be on the bottom. On the very top sheet, this is actually a cover sheet. There's zero purpose to this. The only purpose is to keep the cladding from getting damaged underneath, to protect it from forks or any other damage during shipping or transportation. Now we're going to go over a few parts and pieces that you have received just to explain them in detail here. So first off, you're going to open up your box that comes with the pallet. You're going to have a bag of screws. These are all self-tapping gasketed screws. I'll show you a screw here. So they're self-drillers. You don't have to pre-drill them at all. They have a gasket, a rubber grommet on there to keep them water sealed and tight. Then you're going to have a couple other parts and components. These are called dowels. These connect the legs to the rafters. You're also going to have these U-channels. These are corner braces. I'll go over these in detail in a minute here. As well, you've either told us what your base is. So we're going to give you either one anchor, which is a ground rod anchor, or a concrete anchor. That's the other anchor we supply. As well as you'll receive your posts on the pallet, your rafters, and lastly, you'll see your trim on the pallet as well. On your pallet, there's also going to be your base rails. We'll go over those in detail in a minute. Okay, so now we're going to get ready to put the frame together. We're going to connect the rafters to the posts. Those dowels I was just explaining to you, those are the first part you're going to use. You're going to slide those into the rafters just like that. You're going to put a self-tapping screw right here and on the opposite side, on the underside of the rafter. Then you're going to then grab your leg and it's going to slide in just like that. You're going to put another self-tapping screw right here and one on the opposite side as well. Then you're going to see these U-channel, these corner braces we were talking about. Those are going to go right in the corner. If you look close here, we'd like to see the corner brace get screwed into the post rather than the rafter. This will help it from any wobble that's potentially to happen. You're going to put another screw in here, another screw in the opposite side, same thing on the top and on the opposite side there. Whatever you do on the one side, do the exact same thing on the opposite side. On the smaller buildings, anything under a 16 foot wide, you're also going to have to put an extra brace in the middle. That's going to go dead center. That's going to get screwed here, here, and on the opposite side as well. If your building is a 16 or larger, you're going to notice there's a piece of tube that's actually welded into there. That's a center collar tie. That's just to give you that extra strength because of the span of your building. So one note to say ahead of time, if you've ordered a front or a rear wall kit from us, this is a really good point to save you some time for cutting your sheeting later. So what you're going to do is you're going to open your pallet up. You're going to notice what sheets are for your front or for your rear wall kit. What you do then is you grab your frame you've just assembled and you actually bring the frame and lay it over top of one of those sheets. Then you're going to grab your marker and you're going to scribe the whole rafter all the way around on that sheet. You're going to do, if you have a front and a rear wall kit, you're going to do this twice. If you only have ordered one, just do this on one sheet. Set those sheets to the side for now. After your frame's up, what you can do is then you can get ready to assemble your rear wall kit, which we'll talk about later. But then you'll have those two sheets scribed out already. Then you can zippy wheel those things off and you don't have to measure nothing. So now you have all your rafters connected to all your posts. Every single one is done and set off to the side. What you do then next is you're going to grab your base rails. These are your base rails. These have the 9-inch dowels welded on. These sit up vertical just like you see. What you're going to do then, let's just pretend this post has a rafter on it connected with the post on the other side. You're going to then stand your frame up with one person on one side, one here. You're going to bring it over to your base rail and you're going to slide it right over top of that dowel. Now we do recommend that you have a level base. It's going to make the installation all that much easier as well as help with your sheathing. For example, if your base is out a bit and you want to make it level, there is a little bit of variance. You can grab your post and slide it up a bit and then screw it off at that point to get your rafters level and plumb. So once you have your posts sitting where you want them, then you're going to grab your screws. You're going to put 2 screws in the bottom here and 2 screws in the bottom here. Once you've got all your frames up the whole way along, very important, what you're going to do next is you're going to grab a long tape measure. You're going to go from corner to corner to square your building off, to get it sitting exactly square. After that, you're going to grab your anchors. So if you're putting this on concrete, what you're going to do is you're going to put your concrete anchor in. In the base rail, there's a pre-drilled hole. This hole, you're going to grab a Hilti drill, you're going to put your anchors in and tighten them up. That's going to anchor your building to the ground. If your base is asphalt, dirt, gravel, you're going to use your 30-inch rebar anchor. You're going to grab this and sledgehammer it down. If you're in a really high wind area, what we recommend before you put this in, dig a hole about the size of a fence post hole, put about 2 or 3 bags of wet concrete in there, and then wet set that pin in the concrete. That will help in a real high wind area from anything moving around. So next, after your frame is assembled, you're going to get ready. If you have a round frame building, we'll start with that. You're going to get ready to do your cladding. Take one of your sheets off your cladding pallet. So for example, if you've ordered a 21-foot building, your frame itself will be 20 feet long. The sheet will be 21 feet long. So what you're going to do is you're going to lay one sheet parallel with the base rail. You're going to grab your tape measure and you're going to measure 6 inches past the base rail. You're going to grab your Sharpie then and you're going to mark the sheet with an X to know where all the stud locations are. You're going to do this for every single stud the whole way down. If you've ordered an A-frame building, it's very similar, but instead of laying that mark on your cladding, you're going to then do that on your hat track. You're going to lay a piece of hat track down. You're going to mark 6 inches off of it. Lay your studs out and do that the whole way down. What that's going to do is that's going to keep all your posts, once you transfer your sheet up, that's going to keep all your posts perfectly parallel to each other and to the base to make your building square and skew. Okay, so now you have your whole frame assembled.